Hello and welcome to the first video in our complete IELTS listening series. If you're new to the IELTS test, the listening section can seem intimidating, but don't worry. Over the next 20 videos, we will guide you step by step from the absolute basics to the advanced skills needed for a top score.
In this first video, our goal is simple: to understand the battlefield. We'll break down the structure of the test, explain the different formats, and give you the foundational knowledge you need to start your preparation with confidence. Let's get started.
So, what exactly is the IELTS listening test? It's designed to assess your ability to understand spoken English in a variety of contexts. The test consists of 40 questions, which are spread across 4 different audio recordings. The listening part itself lasts for about 30 minutes. If you're taking the paper-based test, you'll then get an extra 10 minutes to transfer your answers to an official answer sheet. In total, you'll be in the test for about 40 minutes. And here's the most important thing to know right from the start. You only get to hear each recording once. There is no repeat button.
The test is divided into 4 sections, and they get progressively more difficult. Let's break each one down. Section 1 is always a conversation between 2 people in an everyday social context. Think about making a phone call to ask for information, booking a tour, or signing up for a gym membership. The focus here is on catching specific factual information like names, numbers, and dates. This is generally the easiest part of the test. Section 2 is a monologue, meaning only one person is speaking. The topic is still related to everyday life. For example, you might hear a radio announcement about a local event or a tour guide explaining the layout of a museum. The difficulty increases slightly. This is where the test gets more difficult. Section 3 is a conversation set in an academic context. You'll typically hear a group of up to 4 people, for example, a university tutor and students discussing a project. The language is more academic, the pace is faster, and you'll need to follow different opinions. Finally, Section 4 is an academic monologue, similar to a university lecture. One person will speak for several minutes on a complex academic topic. This section tests your ability to follow a sustained, detailed argument. It is considered the most difficult part of the listening test.
I mentioned this before, but it is so important it deserves its own slide. This is the golden rule of the IELTS listening test. You only hear the audio one time. There is no pausing, no rewinding. This means you have to develop 2 critical skills. First, intense concentration. You must be locked in from the moment the audio starts. Second, the ability to let go. If you miss an answer, you cannot panic and lose focus on the next question. You have to take a guess, move on, and get ready for what's coming next. This is why having a strategy, which we'll cover in later videos, is so important.
It's crucial to know which version of the test you'll be taking, paper-based or computer-based. The audio and questions are the same, but the process is different. In the paper-based test, you'll listen and write your answers directly onto your question booklet. At the end of the 30-minute audio, you'll be given an extra 10 minutes to carefully copy your answers onto a separate answer sheet. In the computer-based test, you type your answers directly into the boxes on the screen as you listen. Because you are entering your final answers as you go, you do not get 10 minutes at the end. You only get 2 minutes to check your work. This is a huge difference, so make sure you practice according to the format you've registered for. So, what does this all look like on test day? Let's visualize the paper-based experience. The test begins, and you'll have about 30 seconds to read the questions for Section 1 before the audio starts. Then, you'll listen to Section 1 and write your answers. After it ends, you'll get another short break to read the questions for Section 2. And this pattern continues. The audio for all 4 sections will last about 30 minutes in total. Once the audio is completely finished, the invigilator will tell you to begin your 10-minute answer transfer. This is your chance to copy your answers neatly and check for any spelling mistakes.
And that's it. You now have a clear map of the IELTS listening test. You understand the 4 sections, the golden rule of listening only once, the key difference between the test formats, and the overall flow of the test. You have officially taken the first and most important step in your preparation journey, understanding the challenge ahead. In our next video, we'll dive into our first practical skill, how to listen for and correctly write down numbers, dates, and times. It's a fundamental skill and we'll show you how to master it. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next lesson. I'll see you in video 2.